Brandon, it's Alex.
Mhm.
Hey, so us teachers, we would like to color code our things. So, is there a way to format a cell? Like, for example, if the student scores below 50, I want that cell red. If a student scores above 90, blue. Um, let's see, 80 to 90, green. Like that's what I'm looking for.
Gotcha. So what you're talking about is just some nice, simple conditional formatting. In this case, with this type of data that we're looking at here, we're using just percentages to show the grades from their quizzes. So in this instance, selecting the entire data set and just clicking on this little conditional formatting here, which is under format. So just again, I'm selecting everything, all of the students' individual grades from each day. Come up here to format, come on down here, click on conditional formatting. This will open up a subsection over here. Right now, it doesn't have anything to work with, so it's just making everything green, but we want to put some stuff in there. So let's see, we'll start with the high grade. So you said if it was greater than 90, 80, what were you looking for?
Yeah, greater than 90, blue. We usually have like, it usually goes blue, green, yellow, red, basically.
Yeah, so something kind of like that. Let's see, so I should hit done. Hmm. Well, these ones should be, greater than 90. That's why it's not working. There we go. That's much better. Yeah, because the percentages, of course, are actually decimal numbers. So if you use a whole number, it's not going to work real well. So you do that. So we hit done on that one. We want to add another rule. We're just going to do it for the same set again. And then did it? Well, let's try it again. We'll see if it works. Yeah, let's see. So it's got to be, since we're setting a range now, it's going to require two.
Is between.
Yeah. Oh, is between. Yep, there it is. Hal called it out for me. So we would want it to be, actually, I think it would, so I'll just throw some values in there for the sake of working through it. Do I actually not have any? No, I do. What did I do wrong this time? Oh, see, I knew it was being weird. There we go. There we go. That's what we were looking for. So there's two of them. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's red enough. We don't want our eyes to bleed when we're trying to read our own data. So you hit done on that. So that's giving you an idea, right? So you got your way above average. You don't need to worry about them. You got your good, and then you got your ones that you're going to have to be very concerned about, clearly labeled.
Yes. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. And the good news is that this will be included in the recording. So if later on you're like, how did he do that again? You can always just pull it up and, well, it'll be somewhere near the end. So you have to fast forward a bit or just watch all of it again. It's very entertaining after all, right? All right. So that takes care of that part. Are there any other questions? Are there items, even just random things? You guys are a quiet bunch. I bet you wish the students were always this quiet, right? All right. So I guess I could do a quick demonstration of something. I won't get into the details right now, but at least we won't cut our presentation too short. Just a little like teaser so I can show you simply through function how it works. And then on Thursday, you can look forward to me doing a little more in-depth.
Actually, before you go on,
Actually, Hal has something to include here, so hang on.
let's go back to that tab. Go back to that tab you created.
I've created a lot of tabs. Hal, you got to be more specific. Is this the one you're looking for?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mary's got a lot of low scores, so let's just create a chart real quick for Mary.
Okay. Let's see. So we want to create a chart for Mary so we can see, let's see, what would be a good chart for this? See, that's part of the fun with charts is you need to know how you want to view your data in order for it to be useful. So let's see. So let's pull up a chart first. And actually, I don't think I'm going to select anything because I think we're going to need to be a little more interesting in how we develop it. So if you don't have anything selected, when you click the chart button, this is what you'll see. This way, no data. There's nothing for it to work with, so there's nothing for it to show. Now, what we want to do though is we want to focus on Mary's scores and the dates. So one way you can do this to make it a little easier to select is you can actually come up here. You can select these rows, and where is it? There it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hide these other rows. So I'm not going to worry about the other students for a moment. I'm just going to hide those. Now I can see just Mary, and I can see just the dates. All right, let's see. Let's get these out of the way. I double click on it there to get this stuff opened up for me. And then date range, or data range, let's see. So let's just select everything. Should be okay. Actually, I think it might include everybody. We'll find out here in a moment. Yeah, I think it did. Come on, you. Does that include? No.
You don't want to share it with me real quick?
Oh, sure. We're gonna let Hal take a swing at it. And we're gonna let Hal show us how it's done. I'm really good with the functions and the formulas. Like that's something I've got oodles and oodles of experience with, which is why we wanted to do this presentation. And he decided, hey, Brandon, why don't you give it a shot? I'll admit, charts is not one of my strong suits. So sometimes they'll throw me for a loop. As you can see here, I'm like, why did it do that?
I'm going to try. I'm just going to highlight Mary's row and then control and highlight the top row. And then
see what it does. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Looking good.
So that's the way I do it.
Yeah, so just to show everybody on my screen real quick what he did to select everything. Get this moved out of the way. There we go. Is he held down the control key and selected these and then did it again up here along the top. So you see only those two rows are selected. Everything in between is not being looked at at all. So then when you hit the chart, there you go. Now it looks much better. It's useful. You can get a little more information out of it. Where what the big color blob monstrosity that we were looking at before, well, it's not very helpful. And then there's, I think with this data set, where we could probably, yeah, you could do something like that with bars. And there's a lot of different things you could do with this set of data in the way that it's set up to get some ideas. I think you could even incorporate the average percentage in the calculation. So then on your chart there, you would have like a line that's, unfortunately, in Mary's case, it would be well above, but it would give you an idea of where everybody else is at. So, like in some of these cases, right?
You're getting muffled some.
So,
Um, so let's calculate the Average for the entire classes for all quizzes.
Yeah, I guess you could just do an average of all of it, right? So just the same idea as what we were doing before. So equals average. And then select all of it. So I've just selected the very first score from John up here for the data 4.1, all the way down to the bottom on 4.8 for Mary. Just close that and then hit enter. And there you go. My average randomized data was not very favorable. Don't ask me to generate data for you. It's not good. So let's see, how could we, with something kind of specific like this, when you're wanting to just keep an ongoing average, it's kind of tough to know where should you hide that, right? Because like you don't want it to be below your students. You don't want it to be a part of the, the daily averages.
Actually, I have a trick for that.
Nope, Hal has a trick for this. Let's see what he's got for us. Some kind of neat place to hide it. Maybe a separate spreadsheet even. There's a lot of options.
Let me present that for a bit.
Okay, I'm gonna yield control.
So instead of putting the average down here, I'm just going to delete those rows. I put them at the top. So I'm going to insert, I'm right clicking on the row and saying insert one above. I'm going to do that 3 times and I'm going to go equals average, starts at B5, B5, colon, B. And notice that it's highlighted all the way down. And so I can actually do the right parentheses right there. And the 73% is correct for this number of students. But if I add Bob and he did a 90, whoops. Oh, there's 2 Bobs. Billy. We'll just, his name just got changed to Billy. I have to reformat my, to change that to 90%. So that didn't change the, let's do a real low percentage. There we go. Because you can see that that just changed. So if I go back to 90, it was 76 before, but we have 2 other, Bob and Alice, that also did very well, so it didn't change it much. So we'll do it 12%. He totally bombed it. And so it changes the average up here. But that's what I do, is I put it at the top, and that way I can add new lines as I go. And look at that, the average for the class, the conditional formatting was applied to this. So the whole, it highlighted this one because the whole class did bad. I can do min and max. And it goes min. But now I'm just gonna erase the ending cell number and just leave it B. And I'm gonna remove the conditional formatting for this. Whoops. Did everything, didn't it? And we'll just live with that.